В общем, везде в песке, везде долбаные пески, еще раз пески. Сейчас узнаем о том, какие беды у людей. Что тут нужно найти? Для кого? Вот.
Excuse me. Is it true there's been trouble with crystals of late?
You've heard, then?
I've heard rumors.
Damn thieves. Pilfering the crystals that were meant to fill our cups and light our stoves. Us common folk have hardly had a shard to share between us these last few moons. And it isn't as if we can buy them on the black market either. Whoever's taking them, they aren't sharing.
Угу. У нас тут оказался какой-то вор. Кристальные мы. Приветики.
Do you have a moment?
Depends what for.
Just a question. Dalamil seems to be thriving compared to the other villages I came through on the way. Is there a reason for that?
Well, we're a stone's throw from Drake's Fang for one. The soldiers guarding the mother crystal and the shipments need a place to spend their hard-earned gil. The men of the rock throw their money about like there's no tomorrow.
Is that so?
День тяжелый, господи.
Don't let me keep you from your work any longer.
Я уже немножко схожу с ума, с какими-то приколами.
The most fragrant herbs and spices.
Fresh bread, warm from the oven.
You wouldn't believe how much he gave me. What can I do for you, soldier? Need that sword polishing?
I'm not a soldier.
Ugh, then be off with you. I serve the men of the rock and the men of the rock only.
You have an agreement with them?
Don't be stupid. I just know which side my bread is buttered. Don't want to be stuck under some pauper when they come knocking. With pockets deeper than Zemeckis and an urge to empty them. No, just leave, will you? Before you scare them off.
I think I'm starting to get an idea of what's been going on. I wonder if Uncle Byron's learned anything of use. He'll probably be back at the inn by now.
The finest fabrics, fresh from the capital.
What was all that crashing and banging about before?
Some out-of-towners.
It's you, the one who broke all our furniture. What do you want? Haven't you caused enough trouble already?
I'm looking for my pal. Have you seen him?
The gentleman who was with you? Yes, he's upstairs, but...
No.
Thank you. I'll go and fetch him.
Где же ты, где дядюшка мой?
Will this suffice as a deposit?
By the sands. That's a black pearl.
One of the many treasures in my collection that I would be only too happy to part with, should you give me reason to do so.
All right. I'm sure that we can come to an agreement, but not here.
What are you doing, Uncle?
Идем поговорим, что там дядька нас задумал.
Care to explain why you're giving gifts to Kupka's men?
Bait, my boy. One cannot catch one's prey without it. And I do believe I've snagged us quite the quarry. I started by asking around the markets as to where I might purchase crystals. I had no luck, of course. It's forbidden to trade in such things. But my uncharacteristic indiscretion just happened to attract the attention of those uniformed ruffians. They took me aside and said they could procure the crystal I sought if I proved I could pay for it.
So the pearl was your proof?
I thought they'd ask for more. A second-rate specimen like that would only fetch 500,000 or so. A small price to pay for admittance to the underworld. But enough about my little act of subterfuge. What did you discover?
That the supply of crystals has dried up of late. And some people seem to think they're being stolen. Meanwhile, members of Kupka's private guard have been spending money all over town. I'll wager those soldiers you've been talking to have been siphoning off crystals meant for elsewhere, and pocketing the profits.
I'll wager you're right.
We'll meet with them then, just as you arranged, and put an end to the trouble Lubor spoke of.
Ha! That preening popinjay thought this would be difficult. It just goes to show, one should never underestimate a Rosfield. We'll soon wipe that smirk off his face. I arranged to meet with the soldiers in a secluded corner of the Velcroy, far from prying eyes.
The perfect place for a spot of double dealing.
I trust. Can count on your support if things turn sour.
Of course.
Why is the tavern shut?
Chocobo, chocobo, chocobobo.
I'll take it from here.
Сырочек не зарезали тут, а?
I was beginning to think you weren't coming, my lord. You've brought your contribution?
All the silver and stones I could scrape together at such short notice?
You brought the whole 500 talents.
That was the price we agreed upon, yes? If you've no objections, I'd like to see the crystal.
Of course. Right this way, my lord.
Not bad at all. You weren't lying about the clarity. But what of security? If I were to be stopped on the road, what guarantee have I that it wouldn't be seized as property of the Republic?
Because these crystals are no longer the property of the Republic. You're not buying from us. You're buying from them.
And we have no more jurisdiction here than you, my lord. But we have ships, and will gladly deliver to a port of your choosing, now that our price has been met.
Royalists, eh? What brings you here?
Why, to collect their share of Drake's Fang's blessing, of course. Our nations are allies, and so they are entitled to a portion of the Mother Crystal's bounty. And being such good friends, we elected to increase that portion and share the benefits. And now that these crystals are officially property of the Kingdom of Waloed, we are duty-bound not to interfere, no matter where they might happen to end up next.
Did you get all that? They're in cahoots!
So it would seem.
My lord, what is the meaning of this?
Double-crossing dogs. They're not here to do business. Kill them. Kill them both!
It's not over yet, Uncle.
Good! I'm just getting warmed up.
Наказание, блин. Смотри. Ушатались.
Well, that wasn't too bad. How'd you like my performance, huh? I've often played the villain on the stage. I think I did the role justice. Don't you?
Greybeard, you were magnificent. The battle scene was particularly thrilling.
Папаш.
Such a shame you didn't have more of an audience, but perhaps that's for the best.
How long have you been watching?
Long enough to witness your uncle's sordid transaction. I hardly expected one so venerable to degrade himself so thoroughly, buying one's way into the confidence of degenerates. Ingenious.
This was the trouble you spoke of. The men of the Rock taking crystals meant for the common folk and conspiring with the Royalists. Well, now it's over.
Indeed it is. The people of Dalamil had scarcely any means of redress against Kupka's men, let alone a foreign army. Until you two came along, that is.
Я думаю, ты уже наконец-то отсыпешься от меня.
Well, we'd better get these crystals back to town. You won't mind waiting with them while I fetch a wagon. It occurs to me that I still don't know your name.
Clive.
So, Sid the Second is a Clive. I suppose it could
Падла
have been
маленькая,
worse.
а?
Well,
Так бы рукоятку
Clive,
по башке бы
you
вписал.
held up your end of the bargain, so I must do the same. Passage through the south gate, was it not? To tell the truth, you've helped a little there too. Many of the guards have already been redeployed to deal with the issue of their missing comrades. And those left behind have been encouraged to look the other way should you attempt to pass through.
Thank you. And please allow me to cover your costs. You still have the purse I gave to the soldiers, I trust? I saw you pluck it from one of the bodies.
Oh, dear. Was I really so obvious?
And my name is not Greybeard. It is Lord Byron Rosfield, thank you very
Какой
much.
не папаша.
Thank you very much. Greybeard. Here, wear this. Any friend of mine who sees you with it shall be a friend of yours.
Thank you, Lubor.
And please, feel free to send one of my Stoluses back to your people. Tell them that Rosina Dalamil is back in bed with Sid.
Золушка красивая.
We are lost, Elan. To Isaac, Elise.
I'm trusting you, Sid. Or should I say, Clive? So be sure not to let me down. I have a reputation to uphold.
Бомж бомжом, блин, вот мой Клайв выглядит.
Well, I wish you a safe journey south.
Thank you.
Not at all. It was my pleasure.
Come on, Uncle. Let's go.
Тебе привет.
Is it true what I'm...
Куда? Ухил.
The men of the rock were plotting...
Пелик-то далеко. Сделать челика безумким второй раз. Ну, не без ноги. Да тоже как его судьбинушка лежит.
Lubor was true to his word.
We should get going soon. Do you have water?
Ah, I'm not too late.
What is it, Lubor?
A question that I neglected to ask earlier. Where is it that you're bound?
To Drake's Fang. To finish Hugo Kupka.
Just as I thought. Then allow me to share a secret. Drake's Fang is currently riddled with royalists. Talmeki and Walud are allies, and as you've seen, their soldiers work hand in glove. But no nation has ever before allowed a foreign army to make a barracks of its holiest of holies.
Not by choice, at least.
There's more. A man on the inside of the Fang has failed to report for several days. I fear there may be more trouble lying in wait for you on the road ahead.
Isn't there always?
If you're determined to beard the lion's den, then promise me one thing. That you will enter via the mines, where the guard is lightest. I've lost one Sid already. If I lose another, people will start to think me careless.
Безответственно. Действительно.
Not before Kupka does, anyway.
Well, so long as you have a plan.
Как я локтем вкусно ударил.
Drake's Fang should be just beyond these springs.
Ну так локтем ударил, это больно.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Надо не уметь летать, как бы. Кстати говоря, на шейте появились айконы новые. Ну, посмотрим, что они тут делают. Большой могучий пиздюль. Окей. Вот это. Вот это мне больше нравится. Челюсть. Боюсь спросить, чья.
There it is. Drake's Fang.
Каким боком этот драконий клык выживет, я хз.
will be hiding inside.
Кучка, блин.
Along with goodness knows how many guards, all on highest alert, you'll need to keep your wits about you if you're to reach him. So be careful.
I will, Uncle.
Господи, такой дядя на вес золота просто. Можно мне такого?
Before you go, Clive, allow me to apologize. After what befell at Phoenix Gate and the crisis that followed in its wake, I fled. I retreated to my counting house and danced attendance upon the vicereine in the hope it would bring me favor. I betrayed my nation to save my skin, like the coward I am. And I'm sorry.
Uncle, please.
It's not too late, Clive. Rosaria is yours by right, and there are those that would help you to take it back. Had I the courage of my brother, I might already have done so. But that ship has sailed. You, however...
No. Forgive me, but I cannot. I fight to build a new world now. A better world. Where men can live and die on their own terms. I was raised in a nation that strove to improve the plight of bearers. Only later did I realize that spark of freedom did not arise by chance, but was kindled by my father. You would see me follow in his footsteps. And that is exactly what I mean to do. Not by ruling Rosaria, but by extending his ideals to the whole of the twins. Though every soul in the realm may judge my actions heresy, I am certain my cause is just.
You really are just like him, you know? Thank you, Clive, for coming back to me. I am proud to call you nephew. Well then, this is where we must part ways. Wish me luck in convincing my Canvarian friend to share his considerable talents. I mean to plunder his coffers and prove myself worthy of a place in your merry band. Till then, my boy.
Till then, go safely, Uncle.
And you, nephew. We have much to catch up on, you and I. I shall expect you to regale me with the tales of all your adventures when next we meet.
Скажи, это офигенный дядя, а?
You can regale me too, Torgal.
I'm coming for you, Kupka.
Ох, кучка-то ведь пизда. Какое-то место странное, да.
Fuck! What did this do? What has that gutter rat done to me? Out of my sight, wench! I'll kill you, Rossfield! I'll rip out your heart! I'll tear you limb from limb!
Peace, Hugo. The table shan't hurt you any longer.
He sought to humiliate me. Me! If you hadn't interfered, he would be dead!
You truly believe you would have triumphed had the battle continued?
Titan would have ground him into dust!
And how would he have done that without his head?
Shut up!
You weren't strong enough, and you call yourself a dominant. Or rather, you did.
You mock me, Harbert.
Ты им вертит, блин.
Do you see, Hugo? You are weak.
Fuck!
But so long as that fire burns within you, there is still hope. There may yet be a way for you to take your revenge.
Tell me, what must I do? Please, I'll do anything. Just tell me.
The heart.
What of it?
A Mother Crystal's heart is the most concentrated source of ether in all creation. Perhaps you could take advantage of that. Of course, the crystal would not yield her blessing to any ordinary man. But then, you are no ordinary man, are you, Hugo? Clive Rossfield stole your power, but others have suffered a similar fate, and still managed to find the strength to conjure their icon. Like Benedicta Harmon.
Вот манипулятор, а.
She too drank of the ether and gained a power beyond human understanding.
She did.
Гадина. Манипулированная. Он тебя толкает на что-то непонятное.
Run along now, Hugo. You need only follow the light.
Вот торцива бери к себе. Повеселиться. Интересно, что это за шкета?
Very well, it shall be so. You may leave everything to me, Your Majesty.
Господи. Что это такое? Сейчас как за хвост возьмут. Фу. Что такое? Это мясоеды. Мясные мясоеды. Это что, Диабло? А. Ладно, не Диабло.
Did the royalists bring them from Ash?
Пролились. К шашлычку забыли.
Part of the Waluda army now. How the hell did that happen? They've spotted us. We need to
Бух. Так, а ну-ка, мне этого так удержать надо, да? Нет? Да. Да, держать надо.
taken over the entire mine.
Это тоже надо держать. Да рычит-то так зачем было?
So much for the men of the rock. Dalmekia's finest.
Тёма, блин. Сделай мне травму. Про рычание, пожалуйста.
Animals. You should never have left Ash.
Ага, ты мяукаешь, блин. Прям все завязано на этих дебильных шахтах.
Won't be going any further this way.
Все, я не делаешь вид, что это Тося. Нет, я знаю, что это ты. Эта штука шикарно станет, я заметила. Что это такое? Это мясистое, непонятное. Не надо мне твоих доказательств. Слишком пугающие доказательства. Ух ты. Опять все спихиваешь на свою Тосю. А эта жопа мне не нравится.
Можеш достати язиком, можеш її водичку, то брав так пальцем, знаєш, то облизував її палець. А воно лежить отако.
Короче, удачно свистнула персик. Ням-ням.
Come on, Torgal.
Kupka never did do things by halves. As if taking the Mother Crystal for his own wasn't enough. He had to build his castle in it.
Let the trial begin.
What the hell?
With me, Tor.
Что-то он мне кубка напомнил. Не знаю почему.
Seems we're expected.
So this is the power of Muthos.
Господи. Скажи, ну все очевидное.
Did the orcs do this too? More of them.
Yeah! To me, flames!
Я чуть потерялась с этими айконами.
Fire and flame!
Куда бежать-то? А как говорится, слона даже в комнате не замечу.
What the hell is going on?
Это рычание на
These
меня
things here for
делает.
me or for him?
Тема, хватит рычать.
Let's try.
Soil and stone!
Хе. Но здесь никого нет. Обожаю персики. Так вкусно пахнут.
First orcs, now these nightmares. Is this your doing, Ultima?
It's over!
Нагнем на перделе, что тут надо. Ясно, я извиняюсь. Я не хотела вас на персики пробить. Я не специально. Фруктовый, может. Ой, так, откуда я вообще пришла? Наверное, сюда надо.
You've been busy, Kupka.
Кубки, блин. Я не могу с этого имени. Он меня убивает, блин.
Where did you go?
Да, тащи, тут сейчас будет башка Бенедикта в рамочке, блин.
The heart.
Ядро. Кого
He's in the
заедрить-то?
sanctuary. I can feel it. Come on, Toggle.
Собственно, где башка Бенедикта-то, а? Ой, господи, что-то с безвером каким-то. Блин, сейчас такое чувство, что я попала в Bloodborne, либо Dark Souls, которые хорошенько отмыли. Почистили. Не, Титан это имба, если честно. Типа мне Феникс нравится, и Титанус прям плохо. Да. Которые почистили, постирали, отмыли, довели, так сказать, до кристальной чистоты. Прям настолько кристальной.
My everything. I've missed you so much. Kuka!
Где-то поплыл. Клавец. Весь человек страдает. Ой.
I swear to you, my love. We will never be parted again.
What's wrong with him?
Галюны. Ух ты. Вам показалось. Ух ты, эфирит сзади.
Get away from her! Benedicta!
Обои. Это ужас. Как же чело плющит, это прям нездраво. Да уже похрен на то, что ты воплощаешься. Нет, не знаю, стоит ли мне кушать еще один персик, пока вот эту катсцены все. Пока мне уши отвиснут от этого звука. Не, персики. Что еще? Немало. Ой, у меня ж ушам похорошело. тут. Ну ладно, это Млод опять облажает. О, это братик или не братик? Кто это меня там сейчас благословляет? Я уже не знаю, кому верить, блин. То в шляпе мой брат, то без шляпы мой брат. Тяжко. Ты против Титана, блин, сразу. Без рук вот. Тебя как-то накинула. Отрастились. Господи, я как мышь. На, сейчас ко мне идет. Правда, чувствуется, что он из меня кучку сделает. Очень захотно. Что-то то какой эфрит огроменный, я себя прыщом чувствую. Люди заход цели даже не работает. На попятки. Я ему кусочек пяточки сняла. Пусть его за пятку, пусть его за пятку. Лёг, падла. Не нравится мне это все. Ай. Плюнула на один камень. Ну здесь во время катсцены снимаем немножко хп. Чтобы очень изумили. Господи, вылазь из своего титана, пожалуйста.
Let's give this a try.
Да, оба споткнулись. Да. Ай, вот ссылка. Вот ссылка на то самое. Мелисия, на тебе сожрут. Ай, дурак! Можно тоже похаваю? Я голодная. Нужно мне какую-то волшебную помощь. А то эта волшебная помощь не сильно той помощь. Ужас. Сейчас, наверное, все увидели, как ФПС упал в катсцене. Что это такое? Чего? Вот я тоже так думаю, да поможет мне небо. Каменный тентакль. Я так понимаю, это у меня сейчас этот, что игра называется, Subway Surf или что? Ух! Ух! Это ужас. Господи, и сверху, и снизу, давайте еще... Чисто... Блин! Я на чат отвлеклась. Я отвлеклась на чат. Это было больно. Да, второй раз. Каменных таблет. Блин, отпустила. Да, Оливия, ну такое, блин. Опять бежали. Давай вверх, блин. Мама. Давай, давай. Почему так от ошеломления быстро уходит? Слишком жестко-то. На. Появилась тентакля. Очень умудрилась сзади. Че так жестко-то, а? Угу. Да, они могут. Нахлебала тебя. Надо оторвать. Идем кусок. Я как блохарь не убил сейчас. Глыба с обложки. Не классно. Может, опять беднягу руки. Без руки. Просто они без ноги, либо без головы. Они там в космос решил отправить или что? Блин. А! Я, конечно, не понимаю, но это почему так жестко? Давай, прям поджог. Ням. Добей такой. Ноги. Бак. Ням. Нет, слишком жестко. Я внутри типана. О, давай. Черт, ты такой неуклюжий, блин. Это точно. Ты куда и без меня? Да блин. На тебе плюшку. На. Ай, я не знаю, что это. А, я могу тоже управлять, да? Ладно. Промахала обилки, через тебя летящие ты глыба как океан. Опять ты меня задел, короче. Я не знаю, сколько там падать надо? Просто стало падать. Не понял, уже не идет. Я уже второй персик живу. Мне еще вопрос, как у меня консоль еще такой же не стала. Яркие базуки будут ранить. Бам! Finally, блин. Ба. Кучка теперь точно кучка. Буль-буль-буль. Давай, кушай игру, кушай. Ой, разбили все, что только можно, блин. И что ж, сколько теперь кучка пепла осталась?
Is that you, Ultima? What do you want?
Your soul is tainted with worthless human will. Yet your thirst for power remains undiminished. With every sip you take, you grow in strength, and soon you shall achieve perfection.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You will accept us, Mythos. It is inevitable. You were created for this purpose, and you shall serve it.
Never!
Буква Ю. Это какой-то сиферов на максималках, блин.
Fight it, Clyde! Don't let him in!
Consciousness. We see now. Human will is so insubstantial it cannot exist in isolation. You mitigate its weakness by interweaving it with your consciousness. We believed we had merely to purge you of your will to claim our vessel. It appears we first have to sever every
Мне кажется,
thread of
кто-то
the
переиграл
consciousness
Warframe.
that supports it. No matter. The time to build a new world is not yet upon us. We will contemplate.
Thank you, Joshua.
One can no more command the power of ether by drowning in its flood than one can constrain the tides by standing in the sea. I had thought Hugo wiser than this, but it seems his head was full of rocks after all.
Titan was strong.
Your Majesty.
But Mythos is stronger. For 5 years, that man lived only for revenge. Clinging fast to a fiction, even as it swept him into the abyss. One cannot change one's nature through force of will alone. Only the Almighty can do that.
Hugo Kupka, the man who gave his life for a woman's head. A fool like all the rest.
That the death of a mother crystal should be so beautiful.
Чё-то прям как-то жестко.
Some medicine, my lord? I have salves, potions, anything you need.
Stop bothering me, urchin, or you'll feel the back of my hand.
You must consider your health, my prince. If a show of force is needed to keep the Dalmex at bay, you may trust in your dragoons. I beg you to call on Bahamut only as a last resort. His strength comes at too great a cost.
The Empire agreed to an armistice with the Republic, and yet the Emperor still plots its ruin. For now, the Dalmex suspect nothing, and as long as I can hold their gaze, war need not be inevitable. But more than that, Bahamut is the champion of the Empire. When our people look to the heavens, the sight of him gives them hope.
Сука. Я ж персики ем.
Forgive me, Terence. Would that you were my master. But alas.
I will always be your loyal servant.
Should the Council's brazen maneuvering prompt the Republic to tear up their own treaty and launch a new assault, our soldiers would advance to meet them, cutting across the Central Isles, but not in time to prevent their forces from breaching the southern defenses and storming Twinside. And so the capital would become
Наверное, это к лучшему, что мало кто это видел.
I cannot allow that to happen.
There is one small mercy, at least. You will not be forced to do battle with Titan.
Would that I could avoid doing battle at all.
1,000 pardons, Your Highness.
What is it?
Olivier has been made Emperor. What is the meaning of this?
My father's orders. What were they? Quickly! Yes, Your Highness. His Radiance requests that Your Highness maintain position here and... Ah!
Terence.
Yes, my prince.
I must go to the palace.
I'll ready your steed.
What is it now?
Forgive the intrusion, Your Highness.
I know you.
At ease.
We stand in the presence of the Phoenix. You wouldn't want to get your fingers burned.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. Though I admit, I did not expect such a distinguished guest.
Слишком жестко, мне кажется.
How many years has it been since the remembrance ceremony? 20?
I thought you long dead. Do I address a ghost?
Many have told me that I look like one. But no. I'm alive. Just. Prince Dion of the House Lesage, I have a tale to tell you.
Ой, господи. Я тут немножко Я даже не знаю, как это сказать, что я немножко. Так, нам остался еще 2 кристалла уебать. Ну, посмотрим. Сань, ты этот писец видел? Я не знаю, я просто хочу это не разувидеть. И не разувидеть. У меня ничего тут. У меня сейчас пока нету этих... Да, у меня нету пока кустов, которые мне полезны будут. Тут обычные квесты, которые... Они типа подай, принеси и... В общем, такое не особо интересно.
Clive, you're back.
I am. And with glad tidings for once.
Кучка покончена.
Hugo Kupka is no more.
Well, I'll be. All of our comrades who lost their lives back at Sid's place be smiling down at you right now.
We had a stolus from Newbor saying Drake's Fang had fallen. I expect that was your doing as well, was it?
It's a long story.
One for the history books, I'll bet.
Welcome home, Clive.
It's good to be back. You look better.
I feel it. Which means I'm coming on your next little adventure. You're not leaving me behind again.
Wouldn't dream of it. Otto. Any word on the Royalist movements since I've been away?
Shouldn't you be putting your feet up? If you really want to know, go and have a word with Vivian.
Thank you. I will.
Чё-то прям очень жестко не находите. Как за час столько замеса произошло, я... Ну как, за полтора часа столько замеса.
And with hardly a scratch on him.
I may have picked up 1 or 2.
Well, the fact that you came straight to me instead of visiting our resident Physica suggests that you picked up something more important. A scent. The scent of Waludas.
The very same. But whatever plans Kupka was hatching with the Royalists, he took them to his grave. As did his men. Slaughtered by the orcs who'd taken over the Fang. Orcs, Vivian. I've never seen such creatures in Storm before. The Waludas must have ferried them over from Ash, but why?
Эх, блин, если бы не финалка, я бы тебя просила, Сань, чтобы ты мне даже потаскал. Дьяволь.
It makes no sense.
Do you know the tale of the blind men and the Adamantus? One can often be led astray by focusing too closely on individual details. One must instead see the bigger picture. And what bigger picture is there than my map? The Kingdom of Waloed claims dominion over all of Ash. It is a nation forged by the bloody conquest of Barnabas Tharm, the dominant of Odin. The Canvarian War of Independence in 849. The Battle of the Twin Realms in 865. The Battle of Belinus Tor in 873. Wheresoever his armies fought, Odin was found where the fighting was fiercest. But of late, the warrior king appears to have laid his sword to rest. Battle rages for control of the crystalline dominion. Yet Tharm sends not a single ship in support of his Dhalmekian allies. Meanwhile, the Blight ravages great swathes of Ash. Yet warlike Waloed shows not the faintest interest in laying claim to untouched lands.
So why go to the trouble of sending an army of orcs into the heart of Drake's Fang, only to make no attempt to claim the Mother Crystal for Waloed? It can hardly be for lack of men. Tharm's armies rival any in the Twins. No. We have not seen the last of the Waloed standard. Odin will ride again. It is but a question of when. And on that day, who will be trampled underfoot? In summary, I know not to what end the Royalists betrayed Kupka. I know only that it is part of some broader scheme. A scheme tied to the ambitions of one man.
King Barnabas.
But there is no need to wallow in confusion. If one is to cure a sickness, one must first identify the symptoms. And your Lord Uncle has volunteered to do just that by keeping an eye on the Royalists' movements.
He's really throwing himself into this.
Indeed he is. Which means all that remains for us to do is await his reports. Well, not quite all in your case. The people of the Hideaway must hear the news. Justice has been done. Hugo Kupka is dead. The wounds he left that night are still raw, especially for those who lived with Sid the longest. Tell them that those wounds might finally begin to heal. Consider it the price of today's instruction.
I've never known you to be sentimental.
What can I say? I am only human. And we are, all of us, sentimental animals at heart.
I suppose we are. Very well. I'll go and spread the word.
Оливье. Оливье нарезать надо. Так, что у меня с этим? С этим титаном, да. Так, это что? Чё так жучка-то? Думаю, улучшить, что ли? Тут близкий. Так, мне нужен совет. Что выбрать? Вот этот вот кулак, типа для одного дурачка. Или брать вот этот вот балду, который нескольких может ушатать. Да, нас много. Нас очень много, беги. Соло взять. А ты там что скажешь? Ван Панчмен или Ван Панчмен для троих?
Цинван.
Ой, господи. Так, ну это если усиленно долбануть, это вот так вот разлетаются. А здесь типа так. Ты. Ну тут, блин, типа урона до хрена дает. А тут всего поровну. Хм. В принципе, я могу открыть эту шляпу. Типа на всех. И вот это. Ты что, ты веселый меня, блин, ну мне нравится. Достали. Иду. Кетуть. Вот это мне бунт.
Ah, Clive. Have you come seeking the gift of knowledge? No. To share. Hugo Kupka is dead.
Кучка откинулась.
Can it really be true?
Look, he's crying. He is. The big baby.
Дети, делать вам нечего, блин.
And with good reason, children. These are tears of joy. We must offer up a prayer to your parents that the heavens might weep with us. There shall be no lessons today, only thanksgiving and merrymaking. Go, put away your things.
All right. Brilliant.
Finally, a new dawn has broken.
It has.
Thank you, Clive. I cannot wait to share the good news.
Hippocrates. After Kupka fell, Ultima came to me. I need to know what he is. Have you learned anything?
Alas, no. And not for want of trying. I have scoured nigh every historical tome in our collection and found nothing. Not even the sort of conspicuous absence that might suggest a concealment of fact. One is almost tempted to conclude that such a creature never existed.
But I saw him. With my own eyes.
I don't doubt that you did. Alas, it seems you are the only one who has. To others, he reveals naught. We see only that which he leaves in his wake, like some terrible force of nature beyond the ken of mortal man.
A bringer of death.
Whether the Ultima you met with was the being itself, or merely another projection of its power, I know not. But until I do, my investigations shall continue.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Фух, прям всем разляпать надо это. Мне кажется, они так все прекрасно слышали.
Someone looks pleased with himself. It's true what I'm hearing then.
Nothing escapes you, Lady Karen. It's true. Kupka is dead.
No more looking over our shoulders then. Good. Starting to get a crick in my neck. Don't let it go to your head though.
Blackthorn.
Do you have a moment?
What is it? I'm busy.
I wanted to tell you that Hugo Kupka is dead.
I can't tell you how long I've been waiting to hear those words. This is it then. A new beginning.
Жены Тибуш у меня там на заднем плане.
I'll try to live up to the name.
Что ж, осталось еще два бесхозных кристаллов. Сейчас как на Кире.
He cracked the crystal too? You're joking.
It's no joke. Drake's family is gone.
I'm telling you, it's true. I heard it from Otto's own lips.
Что мне люди махают руками, ничего себе.
You barely sat down since you came home. Vivian got you running errands or something?
Just spreading the word.
Мультик сейчас будет какой-то. Не будет.
So, the professor's got a soft side, has she? I'd never have guessed.
No. She was right, though. Everyone was glad to hear the news.
Ah, but you ain't told everyone. I can think of plenty of friends back at the old hiding place.
Ты его кубкой назвал, что ли?
Not least of all Sid. You should tell him.
You're right. I should. And I will.
Well, when you do, be sure to take Mid with you. She's been going at it hammer and tongs down in that workshop of hers. Trying to do
Да
a
мы уже
father proud.
кристаллов катали.
I can't remember the last time she visited the old sod's grave.
Very well. I'll suggest it.
Что там так происходит такое, а?
Think Mid might need some help tidying up.
If I don't come up with something soon. All right, Clive? What do you want?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that right now.
Oh.
I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Thermal...
Displacement stack. Here.
And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen. The Enterprise. Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack comes in. I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Good old Clive. I were hoping you'd say that. First things first, I need some parts meching. The stack will be made up of 3 major components.
Ну, я хз. Наверное, когда двигатели отдыхают.
That channels hot vapors away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides. That stops the rest of the ship from going up in flames.
A full suit of armor, then. Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials here. Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
I can't make head nor tail of them.
Luckily, you don't need to.
Интересно. Понятно, что Сид батя, а кто ее мать? Чё-то даже я хз. Что говорила?
Can I ask a favor?
Out with it.
It's for Mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. Spare myself the arseache. Go on then. What is it this time?
She said you would know. Here.
Ах, уж эти обшивки. Господи, дичь полнейшая, блин.
Krieger's teats. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it. Won't be easy though. And I'll need help. Get Gavin-Otto in here, will you?
All right.
Господи, опять там мальчик на побегушках. Может, за борт его?
So Mid's roped us all in here again, has she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave, I'll do what I can.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this. It's this plating. The usual saw grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot, very fast, and still keep its shape. That means an alloy. Something that won't break or buckle at the temperatures she's talking about. Which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work cut out already. You'll have to fetch them. Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Velcroy. Stardust, they call it. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back here.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split up. One of us should probably give you an hand coat in the sand.
And the other can go and get the rest from this supplier.
Right then.
Well, make your minds up who's going where, we can get this over with. You going after the Stardust then, are you? Which one?
Gav, you're with me.
All right then. So, where do we find this Stardust stuff?
Выбрал лучшего мужика сразу.
It's the black sand that washes up on its banks that you're after.
Southern reaches of the Velcroy, eh? That's down past Alamil. I'll go and scout the place out. See about hiring us a wagon to bring the stuff back to.
All right. I'll meet you by the river.
While you're off having a paddle, I'll pick up the rest of the stuff from Blackthorn's supplier. Take care.
You two, eh? Don't go letting them fleece you.
Fleece me? I'd like to see him try.
In your own time.
Опять в эту песочницу лезть. Блин, господи, уже слова меня язык заплетается. Фу. Да, тем более, знаешь, Саня, я как-то подумала, что я обойдусь из тех новых аспектов на некроманта, там они не особо интересные были. Что? особенно для некроманта.
Thanks, Gal. Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this Stardust stuff as we can. Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked over in Dalamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of the stuff lying about, just begging to be bagged.
Что, играем в набежки мешков?
We shall. Race ya.
So this is Stardust.
Щепотка,
Just looks
блин.
like black sand to me.
Щепотка, мы мешки собираем. По щепотке буду собирать, что ли? Да. Даже так скажу, я к воде вообще. У меня, походу, Клайв истерически боится воды, блин. Где еще кусочек?
That should be enough for now. Let's see how Gav's getting on.
You finished? How much did you get?
Enough.
5 щепоток.
I hope.
Я не знаю, чем помогут 5 щепоток челику, ну ладно.
You win. That might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey, before we go, do you mind if we have a chat?
Все для тебя, мой лучший мальчик. Все для тебя.
Feels like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going.
safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you. Right, that's enough soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he slings his hammer at someone.
You go on ahead. And try to get some rest once you're there.
Oh, I plan to. Believe you me. After Blackthorn gets what he needs, of course.
Right. Ready to go home, boy?
Что-то мне подсказывает, как обычно, что-то пойдет не по плану. С нашими возвращениями домой, блин.
Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs.
Интересно, где он эти мешки держит. Чисто. Ради прикола бы ответить.
Blackthorn, got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
We should go out on maneuvers together more often. You'll be sneaking around on your Todd all the time.
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It'll take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
Ух ты, я наконец-то 31-я.
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
К этой жопе маленькой вернуться надо. Вы задолбали делать из меня мальчика на побегушках? Сами переходите, я моя.
Mid might need some help tidying up.
If I don't come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn's started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins?
But we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the
Боже,
right
мать,
shape
какая ж ты
and size
душная.
pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
То есть
I'll show you the plan.
2 метра вот
Here
вот
you
это
see
вот.
the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate
На
of excess
расстоянии
heat buildup
вытянутой
would far
руки.
exceed the
Там за
displacement
ними максимум
coefficient of the
стол.
plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and
Иди к тому к
eventually
инженеру,
explode.
бля.
This is where the helm comes in.
Спросить
It
никак.
connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why, if sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much. Thank you, Sid. I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
Да. Мне что-то как-то даже сказать нечего. Гоняет меня как шивого духа туда-сюда. Я не знаю, туда меня несет, не туда. По пути разберусь.
Word is, the Black Shields took a hiding.
Что там забыла?
Come on.
Забыла дело.
Fly, Ambrosia. Time to fight.
Драться ни с кем не собираюсь. Господи, с этими вашими поворотами, а. Ой. Ну что значит, когда нету мини-карты, блин.
stone!
Дикие звуки издает, блин, чел. Дичайшие, я бы
There you
сказала.
are, Sid. The ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back. Anybody home?
Anybody here? Oh.
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go. Nice try.
Блин, этот кулак какой-то слишком мягкий. Я бы сказала, разрывной.
The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
Духота, откройте окно. Так я, наверное, когда достану этот дебильный... Вообще, как дебильную лодку, я, наверное, все. Потому что, блин, прям... Зевай, как чертярный пес, надо кошке корм купить еще.
Might need some help tidying up.
If I don't come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prison for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Harpocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
Что так душно-то? Как же ты хрустишь всей этой кожей, блин. Ладно, не зря поднялась.
Lovely breeze, isn't it? Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
I went up to give some breeze to the
Блин. Что-то такими окольными путями пошла, ну ладно.
Harpocrates, do you have a moment?
For you, Clive? Always.
Well, actually, it's for mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Shielding for a mithril engine? Whatever will that girl think of next? What are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelus complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Господи, цензура наша
Early
сила.
Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelus might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
Чё? И кого выбрать?
So, Clive, have you made your decision? Who will accompany you on your little excursion?
Сложно. Прям жестко, слишком жесткий выбор, мне сложно. Ой, капец, сложный выбор, сложный. Просто сидишь и не знаешь, кого выбрать. Потому что сложно, блин. В принципе, я поклялась в приключениях кристаллов. Ладно, что будет, то будет.
All right. So, what are we fetching?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
Garlic. Conch shells. Are you sure this is the right list? Looks like the ingredients for someone's supper.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited. Effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Well, isn't that convenient? I was hoping to be able to make a trip over that way sometime soon. Need to speak to an old acquaintance. I'll meet you there.
All right. Stay safe.
See you later, Clive.
Good luck with your research.
Господи. Задолбали меня дергать туда-сюда, туда-сюда.
Now, where's Taya?
There's two. Keep them pilgers nice and chilled.
Need to stock up on
Won't
these.
have you spoiling it.
There you are, Taya.
Ah, and there you are. We shouldn't have any problems finding what we need in a place like this. But if time is of the essence, perhaps we should split up. Take a few items each.
All right. What shall I look for?
Let's see now. Why don't you take the garlic and the pepio nuts? Meet me by the gate when you've got them.
Сейчас мне скажут извини, чеснока нет.
What do you want? Go on, take it. Thanks for nothing.
What can I interest you in today? I hope it's to your liking. Ah, yes. I trust it's all here.
That should do it. Hopefully Taya's finished too.
Fresh cuts. Come and get them. Up. You'll not find a bruised pippin in...
Well, did you find everything?
I did. Here.
Garlic and pepio nuts. Job done. We should get this back to Tomes then. He'll be waiting. But we're not in too much of a rush, are we? Quick chat.
Ooh la la.
Do you know, I think this is the very first time we've been out on an errand together.
I think you might be right.
In all the years since you and that scowl of yours first appeared, you haven't invited me out once. For shame.
Ooh.
Well, it seemed long overdue. And you did say you had some shopping to do.
I was hoping to restock my supplies of herbs and liniment, yes. You and Jill alone burned through them like wildfire. No luck, though. My usual supplier's not here, and I refuse to pay the prices these gougers charge.
I'll ask Karen when we get back. What is it?
Oh, just memories. I came here with Sid once, shopping for supplies, just like today. And just like today, I came away empty-handed. Sid even said he'd speak to Karen for me when we got back. Has it really been 5 years? I remember it as if it was yesterday. Hold on. Does that mean it's been 5 years since we met? Feels a lot longer.
It does. In a good way, of course. Thank you, Taya.
For what?
For everything. I just want you to know that all you've done for us, all you still do, it's appreciated.
Do you think I'd stick around if I thought it wasn't? But in the spirit of sharing and caring, you're appreciated too, by all of us. Well, I think we've tarried long enough. I ought to get these ingredients back to Tomes so he can make up this concoction of his. I'll meet you back at the hideaway, all right?
All right. And thanks again.
I heard you the first time.
Томительно, что писец.
I wonder how Hippocrates is getting on with the moon dew.
Получится это чесночный соус, блин. Ну что ты скажешь?
He had a successful trip.
А, даже не ревнует. Ну ладно.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Hippocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Tarja how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course.
Oh, and Clive. It was good to talk. We should do it again sometime.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other. Followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Hippocrates.
Ура. В итоге у нас получится плавучее убежище, я так понимаю, да?
Well, I better go and give Mid the good news then.
Все потрещит с Мид, и до свидания. Этот квест мне прям писец, там скучный, душный, блин, фу. Так, я что-то увлеклась переходами этими. Да, это нормально. Тьфу, блин. Я уже тупить начинаю. Ужас.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way!
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is going to require some precision walloping.
Большой молот. Шутки про молоток. Смотрится нефти.
It's finally finished.
Fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want her to be that.
Теперь для одну фирму зову капитан на мостике.
I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans. I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Капитан Джек Воробей. Только в моем случае Клайв Сидович.
All right, Clive. Asterix. We'd finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the Twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished soon enough.
She said that, in those words.
She did, yes.
Clive, were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her.
Is that the thing Tomes helped to build?
Obolus, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat, going that way.
Then I'm too late.
You in a hurry at all, are you?
Oh, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clappers. Got some life in her, ain't she? But anyway, I was on my way up to see you, as it happens. Got a letter for you. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Obelith.
Don't mention it.
What tidings, Uncle?
Вот дядька-то, а. Угу. Дядюшка. Лучший дядюшка в мире.
Trouble in Calder. Well, they'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset?
It, seems that way.
Well, nothing we can do about it now. But next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Gotta admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in and all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
You're right.
Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards. Right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least.
Сейчас появимся и все.
Well, Sid, I remember what you told me. But if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it.
But
I will say this, old friend. Hugo Kuka is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. Not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
Прям все пришли.
Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blight marches on. And soon, there'll be no escaping sights like these. So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you, but we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go with them? Oh, thanks, Nan.
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great loot. There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav?
Already on my way, Captain.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
Как я только что неудобно сделала, чуть мне челюсть не свело. Неприятно.
Do you see that, Sid? Your protégé's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
Так, все, надеюсь, сейчас без катсцен, пожалуйста. Хебак. Все. Аллилуйя, блин. Путь вперед. Завтра все увидимся. Спасибо, кто приходил ко мне на стрим, кто сидел со мной.
Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
Так что...
And Torgal helped too. Didn't you, boy?
Хаф. Да, хаф. Всем доброй ночи, доброго дня. Спасибо за ваши просмотры. Всем пока.